Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about the concept of having too much posture. What do I mean by that? Well, when we were instructed to keep a nice straight posture, a lot of us tend to assume that means doing this, throwing our shoulders back and driving our butt back, okay? Which creates a ton of tension in the lumbar spine. So how that relates to exercise is if I'm going to do a press overhead, I'm going to make sure that when I finish, my hips are forward. I don't want my hips to be in this position because that creates a lot of tension in that lumbar spine and your lower back. So everybody's built a bit differently as far as that curvature. Some of us have, a much more of a posterior pelvic tilt, which will kind of lend them to have a bit more back pain, probably more so than others. And some people are a bit more neutral in this position, okay, which will cause the shoulders to round forward. In terms of keeping a flat back, you want to be somewhere in the middle, all right? So just as I demonstrated there with the press, if I was going to do a deadlift, it's the same idea. So keeping a nice flat back, you want the chest up, but you don't want to compensate by doing this to keep that chest up. You want to have your hips somewhat neutral. Very neutral. You're going to have maybe a little bit of a curve, again, depending on your anatomy, but you want to focus on drawing in your belly button and then having your shoulders back. And that's going to give you the optimal amount of power to put to the ground. Same thing, when I do a squat, it's a bit easier to fix because if I drive my hips back too early, I'm going to fall forward. I'm going to maintain that same idea by keeping my core tight and driving up through the floor. So essentially, with any exercise, you want to be focusing on doing a plank. What I mean by that is you can't engage your core properly in a plank without your hips forward, okay? So focus on those couple of things, and I guarantee that will make your power production when doing exercise much more efficient. Take care and see you next time.